Yep, looks like we found an NBA champion from Michael Jordan's own hometown with more NBA championships than Michael Jordan. We'll talk about it a little later on. Play that intro music.
I wonder who that is, actually.
Who?
The intro
The
music?
NBA
Yeah.
champion or?
No, whoever was saying that on the intro music.
Well, I think it might have been his daughter that did that. I'm gonna ask him. Yeah, he watches the show too. Real good supporter. Yes indeed. Keeping it together out here. We made it through another week. We survived doing yard work. We survived the North Carolina high school jamborees. We survived the excursions that you didn't plan for. Welcome. Hey, thanks y'all so much for tuning in, man. Welcome to another week. The Sunday Night Live with the 9 to 5 guys. I am your man, 58 South, along with my co-host, the sports diplomat, Mr. Mashawn Roberson, and the coach, the Don. What is going on, gentlemen?
What it is?
How you guys week, man? I know y'all were pretty busy, man. The gridiron is back in full effect as far as high school football. How'd everybody do?
Yeah, week was kind of hectic, man. Had the game get rescheduled from Friday to Saturday because of the weather. So, and knocked a little hitch in the giddy up. The boys played well. They ended up Southern Alabama. They won. Eastern Randolph 28-7. And my son Miles had 2 sacks in the game.
Hey,
Mhm.
hold on.
Awesome. I'm really pleased with that. You know, that's a very good start right there.
One time for Miles.
Undersized DN, but that quickness got him this week.
Congratulations. How'd that thing go for the Mighty Mustangs?
Man, not so well. Not so well at all. We lost to Providence Day, who's one of the best teams in the city of Charlotte and in the state, honestly. But we didn't play our best, and we didn't prepare the way we should have in practice, and so that's on us as coaches. But we're going to get it corrected this week. We got Weddington coming up at home, our first home game, and so we should be all right. Just got to go back to work, got to go back to the drawing board and practice and bring some more intensity and all that, but we're going to be fine.
Okay, so I'm going to ask y'all both this. Takeaways from the game. What are some things you've seen that the team could improve on? Mashawn, I'm going to start with you.
Well, with that kind of win, it wasn't that much. But in looking at it, I would say that they are a very run-centric team. I think when they do have some situations where they're going to have to pass the ball, they need to work on that a little bit more. In the few situations where they did, they weren't very efficient at that. So I would say they need to work on getting their passing game more sold up. But the run game was very strong.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Don?
on our end, man, we got to be better with effort, right? Effort in the details. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to play harder and be able to play harder for longer and have what I call competitive stamina, right? To where don't matter what happened last play, you're going to compete this play because it's a new play, right? You're going to compete every single play, one play at a time, you know what I'm saying, and let the results happen where they are. But I know I'm going to give my best on this play because I know the dude beside me is giving his best. So we got to work on our competitive stamina and our effort. And it's for us, it's just details, right? It's just all the little things that are getting us beat. It's one guy missing a block, and one guy missing a tackle, one guy not doing their assignment. So that's what we're looking at as coaches, cleaning up this week and being more hard on the details, right? More disciplined with the details. So that's what we got going into the week.
Okay. Well, best of luck week 2 to the Mustangs and keep it going, Southern Alamance, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Since we're talking about football, we might as well talk about some news that broke while we were on stream last week. That
yeah, why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, why don't we talk about that? Von Miller is a Dallas Cowboy. Don, the floor is yours. Well, no, Mashawn, I'm gonna let Mashawn speak first because I know his is going to be much shorter than Don's.
Well, all right. I mean, I just think it's a huge move for the Cowboys, man. That was kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody was really looking at Von Miller going to them. He done got his sipping on his tea with his Cowboy mug there. But I think that whatever I saw an interview that he gave to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco on Nightcap, and he was just saying, he had 9.5 sacks last year, and he was. I believe this. He was just saying, they give me enough plays. I could walk into 9 sacks every year. That's what Von Miller said. And I believe that. I think that he's going to be able to come up in there the way that defense is looking. He's going to be able to at least give them those 9 sacks and may get to 10 or something. he right there to pass Michael Strahan for all-time sacks. I think he maybe 2 or 3 or maybe 4 behind Michael Strahan right now. So he's trying to do that. And then they got Quentin Williams and Caleb Downs, a rookie coming up in there. Von Miller can really give him a whole lot of guidance on how to play the game, how to play winning football. And the man is motivated because he's from Texas. He was a Dallas Cowboy fan, so growing up. So he gonna want to play hard for that team. It's just a big signing for them. I think it's gonna really help them out.
Yeah, man. I mean, hold on 1 second.
If that's a real Dallas Cowboys cup, and it's anything like the team, ain't nothing in it. He just sipping air.
I mean, we like, look, anybody knows we welcome all hate. You know what I'm saying? All animosity, all of that we welcome. So please bring it. If you want to be in my DMs with all the hate, with all the negative Cowboy talk, please, I welcome it, right? But speaking on the Von Miller situation, yes, we broke the news last time we were up here, and it's just another piece to add to our defense, right? Guy that can get off the couch, like Mashawn said, and give us 9, 10, 12 sacks, just depending on who else he got around him, right? We got Quentin Williams. We got Kenny Clark. We got Rashawn Gary. DeMarion Overshown back, right? Donovan Esaraku coming to his own, right? Hey, Jashawn Barham. I don't know if we've been watching the summer camps and all the clips that's been coming out about him. He's going to put in some big work. He's going to give us some great snaps, man. And so if Von Miller can get a one-on-one block, there's not too many people that have been able to and will be able to block Von Miller one-on-one. And so that's all we need from him is to come in and be a sack artist. On third down, like I said last week, you ain't got to go to practice. You ain't got to lift too much. Just stretch, stay in that ice tub, stay in the training room, and on Sundays, get off the training table and come get after the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Dak, what excuses we got, man? What excuses are we gonna have this year? There should be none. We should have 2 all-pro receivers, an all-pro quarterback, right? At least an all-pro, a couple all-pro D linemen, all-pro linebacker. We should have those guys this year. So I don't see why we shouldn't be one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the NFL. But you got to block out the distractions, which has always been a Cowboys issue, blocking out distractions. So, Dak, I need you to keep this team locked in, focused on what we got to do, and focused on the goal, which is winning one game at a time. If that happens, I think we'll be solid.
Well, unfortunately for y'all,
if I can interrupt, I'm surprised y'all ain't say nothing about this, especially you, Don, as you a Cowboy fan and North Carolina boy, as both of y'all. How y'all ain't say nothing about Javonte Williams before? You know, he from down there where my mother-in-law from in Rose
Hill, North Carolina, Duplin County, baby.
From North Carolina. He a big part of that offense right there. We ain't said nothing about him ever since we've been talking about how good we expect the Cowboys to be.
Now I spoke about him a little bit ago. We keep him under wraps, right? And I just don't want him to be. I think last season he had a really good season, and I just don't want him to. And I'm not going to even speak on it, but I just want him to follow it up with a great season, right? And so he's a very important piece to everything that we got going on. So if I hadn't spoke his name enough, I apologize. All right, but he's gonna be a huge piece like he was last year. So
yeah, that's up to Don to bring him up, man. He a Cowboy. He ain't a Panther.
It's okay. Like I said, once the season starts, I'm not gonna be speaking on too much Cowboy talk. My soliloquies are gonna get a lot shorter, and hopefully Jerry's do too.
Yeah, if y'all believe that, I got a Bojangles I'm trying to get off for a couple dollars.
Yeah, I don't believe that
right
at all.
on. Back to what you were saying about no distractions. Well, unfortunately, your biggest distraction happens to write all your chicks. So good luck with
exactly
with that no distraction thing.
He been quiet. We just gonna keep him quiet. We're gonna keep you quiet, baby. We good.
Yeah, he been quiet, man. And I said this before, like how that Schottenheimer guy is coaching the team, man. I just think he keeping them focused too. He seemed like kind of like a do your job kind of coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm digging that, and I ain't a Cowboys fan at all. I don't like when the Cowboys are good, but I just know they gonna be good.
I'm glad. Let's keep it that way.
Speaking of doing your job, we got another NFL player who like Von Miller has a job for a new franchise. Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, most notably known for being one of the great Charger wide receivers, is now in Indianapolis. Colts.
Yes,
it seems
sir.
that that Coach Don had some intel on this before it even went down, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, he from the city, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to KA, man. Slayer, aka 13. And we played together my freshman year in high school at the Grimsley High School. But
Go
I know
Whirlies.
yeah, come on with the Whirlies, man. Hey, y'all know what we on. Everybody know what we on now. Anybody want that smoke, right? Come on to North Carolina, all right? Jameson Stadium. We'll get on the road. Whatever you want us to do, we're going to come see you, all right? And I know we got Clay Chalkville in Alabama. We've been asking for that smoke for the past couple of years. So either y'all coming to North Carolina or we're going to come down to Bama and we're going to see about y'all, all right? Because we've been hearing one of my dogs go there. Shout out to Jalen. One of my dogs went there. And they've been winning. They got all these guys going to Alabama and all these other schools and stuff like that. And that sounds good.
Did you say Trustville?
We okay. Huh?
Did you say Trustville?
Nah, Clay Chalkville.
Okay, I would say you might not want that
we
smoke.
need to see about y'all boys. And we know y'all practice in the morning. Y'all got football periods at the school. Last period of the day and the first period of the day is football. We ain't got that. We got to be in class for 6 periods a day, but that's still cool. We're going to still come down there or y'all come up here and we're going to show y'all a good time. But back to Keenan's situation, man. Yeah, one of his cousin is one of my dogs and said him and they were on vacation this summer and he and Reggie Wayne got to talking. And so that's how this went down, man. And I'm glad it ended up working out for him. I think he definitely still has a lot of life in his legs. He led the league in third down receptions last year. And so I don't see why he can't do that again this year. Third and Keenan is in Indianapolis now. And so I think he'll do a good job for Daniel Jones. That's what Daniel Jones needed, right? He needed to have a receiver that could help him convert on third down. And you know Keenan is always going to get open on third down. If nothing else, you know he's going to get open. Right? There's not many people that can cover him one-on-one. Now, running deep routes and stuff like that, at his age, is not his forte. But in the short spaces, 5 yards, 10 yards, and in, you're not covering him one-on-one. He's been like that since he stepped in the league. So shout out to KA, shout out to Slayer, shout out to 13, shout out to the Indianapolis Colts. I might have to actually get a Colts jersey now, but I hope they have a lot of success up there. And Keenan's going third, and Keenan's coming to Indianapolis.
Well, it depends because the main receiver, Alex Pierce, is hurt right now. Or he's on the mend. I think he's going to be able to play when the season starts. But for Keenan to be effective there, the other guy, Pierce, is going to have to produce too.
And downs.
So hopefully, yeah, he gonna need that. Hopefully, and they got a good tight end too. He's a young man. I think this is his second year, so they have a decent chance to have a good offense. Keenan can help as long as Alex Pierce is playing well too.
I just hope Daniel Jones stays healthy enough so this doesn't become a busted season for Keenan Allen. That's all.
That's a fact, man. And they got him starting on the depth chart. He's one on the depth chart. Their starters, obviously, Alex Pierce is still up there, so they're going to need somebody in there. But Josh Downs, Keenan.
He going to be number 2. Who else they going to come put in there?
And see, man, I like Treadwell. I don't know if y'all remember Treadwell coming out of college, man. He was supposed to be.
Miss, right?
Man, he was supposed to be one of the guys. So he's on that roster. It looks like he way back on the depth chart as a receiver. So come on, Treadwell. Come on, man. Come on, step up to the plate.
Man, everybody has their own Xavier Legette on their team. Somebody that's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Legette catching strays already.
It happens. I'm just saying, man.
58 stay on that dude's neck, dog.
Everybody does.
Saying,
all
brother.
the Panthers fans. All the Panthers. Hey, cut him some slack, man. He out there riding horses.
Nah.
He finna be a UFL All-Star sometime soon.
Hey, but speaking on the Panthers, guy Jordan, man, he balling. I kept getting his first name mixed up.
Jimmy Horn Jr. Yeah. He should have converted that play the other day though, but he got shoestring tackle. It is what it is. We need you to convert those, brother. That's how you get playing time. But yeah, coming along. Remember, I said I just want him to get some more looks. He's very quick. Just need him to understand the playbook, man. Going out there and show everybody what you got. I think he's hard to stop in small spaces. So just needed to convert for us. And yeah, man, we got Darren Waller when everybody else was making big acquisitions. We got Darren Waller.
Hey, Darren Waller sober now, man. That's all we worried about.
He big.
Stay sober, champ.
He might be able to help, dog.
Yeah, we got Darren Waller. Trevon Diggs found a new home. He's going to be a Seattle Seahawk. Look like the Seattle Seahawks are just out here, if some who's left. You know what I mean? Who need a home? That's pretty much what the Seahawks are saying right now. But this addition, we figured this addition was because your man, what's my man who got the issue? Think he a mob boss.
Terry on.
Thank you, Arnold. Yeah, Arnold's case, even if he doesn't get like any real high level criminal charges out of the case, Roger Goodell ain't gonna let him just come into the season start fresh like ain't nothing happened. So
he gonna get suspended. He gonna get suspended at least 8 games. He ain't gonna play half the season.
Yeah, man. So that's happening. So congratulations to him, man. Look like the Diggs family, got a cause for celebration over there, man. So congratulations to everybody involved. I think there was one more. Vita Vea, $30 million for 1 year out there in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they needed to get that done because they already have a potential distraction with Baker Mayfield. Although Baker has said that he's gonna be focused, we will see depending on he kind of go whether what. It depends on what the media say on how focused he gonna be, whether he gonna respond back and stuff. The Vea's an important player on that defense. So I'm glad they got that done. I think that, like we talked about, Tampa Bay has the most talent in the division. It just depends on how they put it all together, if they can.
Yeah, they're going to be a great disappointment for the great state of Florida, and I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I think Vita Vea, man, I think that he deserved his deal. I mean, he go out there and he plays hard. Like when you watch his tape, he don't take plays off. He does what he should do. He's not in the media. He keeps it low. And he like I said, he plays his ass off every time he step out there, man. So congratulations to Vita Vea, and on your way out, man. Keep balling on your way out.
I mean, if that dude didn't get the deal, man, because he opened up the middle for one of their linebackers to make the play.
Every time.
He eat up 2 guys every play. So they had to get him unless they wanted to just really have a bad defense.
Plus, it would have sucked to put a mural up of the guy and then he leaves right after you get the mural done. That's bad business.
That too.
Yeah, it'd be unfortunate.
All right, guys. So out of the 3 veterans that we named earlier, we talked about Von Miller, talked about Keenan Allen. I got to throw Mike Evans in this one. I know Von Miller and Michael Evans, Mike Evans, already have Super Bowl rings. But out of those 3, who's positioned to get either their first one with Keenan Allen or their second? It's like calling Von Miller or Evans this season.
Oh, man, I'm going just because of the injury history of the 49ers, man, I would say the Cowboys. If nobody gets injured, though, if the 49ers have a relative injury-free year, like maybe the average of all NFL teams, because they always seem to have more, I will say Mike Evans, because I think the 49ers are good if they don't have injuries, and their coach always gets them to play hard and all of that. But I just can't depend on that from an injury standpoint. Well, I might still say Mike Evans because I just think that the 49ers have more playoff experience, more playoff grit than the Cowboys do. Cowboys got to show all that when they get to the playoff.
Okay.
I mean, come on, man. I'm going to say that. Of course, Von Miller. Von Miller's hopefully he's poised for a second, If we can do what we're supposed to. Oh, I'm sorry, he's third. My bad.
Yeah, he already got
Hopefully he'll bring some of that championship pedigree, you know what I'm saying, to the Cowboys locker room. Because, I mean, I think that's a piece of what we need, right? We need some championship pedigree in our locker room, on our defense for sure, and to kind of guide Dak, right, into what, like, be the Udonis Haslem, you know what I'm saying? Be the guy on the bench that's keeping everybody together, keeping all the young guys on the straight and narrow, as well as giving the veterans some game. But even though Dak's a veteran, Von Miller been playing longer, right? And he been to the mountaintop. So hopefully he provides Dak with that experience and some of the offensive guys, right? CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, when they start to get off the record, because we know at some point George Pickens, he's going to wild out this year. Like, that's just NFL young boy. Like, we know what's up with him. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully Von Miller can kind of bring him back in because he's been to the Super Bowl and give him some guidance that Dak is not able to give him because he's been to the mountaintop already, right? So also, like we talked about, hopefully Von Miller helps them limit distractions because he's been to the Super Bowl a couple of times. He's won a couple of Super Bowls, so he knows what distractions can come with that, right? And I've heard from a multitude of people, if everybody from NCAA tournament champions to national championship or national champions in football to NFL players, talk about how draining it is, the process going forward to that, getting to the game, right? All the media you got to do, all the pictures you got to take. Everybody wants to talk to you, especially now with podcasts and all of that kind of stuff. So hopefully he's able to help us limit those distractions and stay focused on the straight and narrow on the back end of his career.
Yeah, man, as much as it pains me to say this, man, it'll probably be Von Miller. The offense is high powered. And because I was leaning toward Keenan Allen, right? Because I'm like, well, his division is weaker. So the Indianapolis Colts got a better chance of winning that division, getting the bye, going into the playoffs. But they got to beat, if healthy this season, to me in the AFC is going to be Bo Nix, man. I mean, I ain't going to say that like Bo Nix wasn't an injury away from playing in the Super Bowl. I really believe Bo Nix and them would have beat the New England Patriots had he been healthy.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Bo Nix is going to be the AFC killer this season. Because I don't think the Patriots have a favorable schedule like they did last season. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see what they're really made of this year. Even though they got AJ Brown, that's a great addition, but that schedule isn't the cupcake like it was last year for you. So too many things had to break New England's way.
Drizzy Drake, man.
I'm not sure. Like you talking about, like I said, the Cowboys. Though while I'm high on them, man, when they getting that playoffs, man, it's something else with them. I got to see what they gonna do when they get into the playoffs, into the tournament, and how they respond. In terms of Indianapolis with Keenan Allen, I think he could help, but I just think in that division, man, you know, you still got Houston and Jacksonville. Both of those teams are better than Indianapolis. I'm not sure.
You got Houston's defense. You got Houston's defense.
Right.
So you got Houston's defense. We don't know what their quarterback gonna shake out to be this season.
You don't know, but just based on history, what you've seen from that team, they play better than Indianapolis. I think that Indianapolis gonna be on the cut line to make the playoffs and might not get there.
Okay, no problem. Well, you had mentioned NCAA a second ago, Don. I found this story pretty interesting. Where you gonna let grown men go back to college and play football? I know. I think as of right now, though, it was overturned again because in Colorado they didn't let it. It didn't pass in Colorado, and they needed it to pass in Colorado for like you Seth Trimbles and a couple other NFL guys to be able to go back. So I'm not sure at where it stands as of recording this, but I do know earlier this week they were like 16 guys had filed for a temporary restraining order or something to that effect, to where they can be able to go back and play like another season of college. And I thought that was very interesting as far as football goes. I'm like, basketball's a little different, but now you got guys who are in NFL training camps this offseason. Most notably, T.J. Harden was the first name that came to mind, the running back. He had played on two different teams. He was on the Browns and the Seahawks this preseason. Now he's getting ready to go back to was getting ready to go back to college. I'm just interested in you guys' thoughts on that one, man. Or did you even care about the story?
I mean, I'm like, I just think the NCAA, they don't have a clue right now. Right? They don't have an idea about the direction, where they're going, what's next, or anything like that. Right? This is the wild, wild west, and it's unfortunate that it's hurting a lot of kids that's coming after, that's not getting these opportunities and stuff like that from guys that have played there 4 years. And like, how long are we gonna string this out? Like, is this gonna be the last year with guys getting more eligibility? Like, and we're allowing guys that have been in the league to already come back. Like I don't get it, especially in football. Like football, you've had guys that have been in a college weight program for 4 or 5, maybe 6 years, right? Or let's say 4 years. College weight program for 4 years, go to the NFL in camp, you in their weight program, you practicing with them, you learning from them, and then you got an 18-year-old kid who barely has been in the weight room at all. Like basketball, like you said, is a little bit different because like you got guys going from high school to the league in the NBA. It's been that way since, obviously you can't do it now, but it's been that way, right? And they step in ready to play. And honestly, most of those guys that have went from high school to NBA, a lot of them guys are Hall of Famers, if we're going to be real about it. You're not going from the high school football to the NFL. It's not going to happen because your body's not developed enough yet. And you're playing against grown men in a physical sport. So to allow guys, freshmen, to play against guys that are 24, 25 years old, like, that's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. And so I think the NCAA has to do something, first of all, because to rectify this problem. Also because the SEC finna leave y'all. And if the SEC leaves the NCAA, trouble. It's big trouble. It's big trouble. And so NCAA, y'all gonna have to figure it out because this ain't gonna work, man. This ain't gonna work. And a lot of parents and a lot of kids are getting the short end of the stick because y'all don't know what you're doing. So it's unfortunate. It's the sacrifice the kids that are having, some of them kids having to go to JUCO because they can't find a home because the university is taking 6-7 year seniors. But that's just what it is right now.
And then to piggyback off of that, man, you got the younger kids that are coming there that the school has made commitments to them to come to the school to play on a scholarship or whatever. And these guys are coming in potentially taking those commitments away from them when you didn't have a commitment to this guy. He already was gone in your mind, in your mind, and now he come back and you just shorten this kid that you recruited, you went and you met with this guy, his parents and all of that. This is making the coaches look like they ain't got no spinal loyalty to it. They are taking away opportunities from kids that they have recruited and made commitments to. These guys that are coming back, obviously, like Don said, they're older, they're more physically strong and all of that stuff. They have been, at least for however many months they've been in the NFL, OTAs and training camp and stuff, they've been getting major upgrade in training than these college kids have been getting, even if it's just for a few months. And for them to come back with that additional knowledge is giving the teams that they go to a competitive advantage, a major competitive advantage if they are getting trained by NFL coaches who are the cream of the crop in terms of the coaching profession. So that is a huge deal, I think. And like Don said, it just make the NCAA look real bad, man. Like they don't know what kind of rules they want to run by. I mean, I think that if they want to do something like that, it should be kind of like, I don't even know if they have this rule for NCAA football, but like how they do, because we see it a lot in basketball, where if a guy says he wants to go pro and he signs with an agent and then he goes and he does the preseason stuff and then he decides, well, maybe I'm not ready for that and he want to go back. That's how they should do it. It shouldn't be something where you can participate all the way up until the season almost starts and then you can come back. I don't agree with that.
If nothing else, man, the NCAA needs to impose a cutoff time for that because school just started. So what is that doing to that roster that you had planned on all summer now? So yeah, I just think it messes up. Yeah, it messing up team chemistry and you know. Speaking of NCAA, it seems that the fans will have a chance to vote on the Heisman. Cool story and all, but I think it's still going to be whoever the most popular person is with the best stats. That's still going to be the winner of the Heisman.
You put fans in there, it's definitely going to be like that even more.
Yeah. So cool story, I guess. I mean, all right. Y'all have anything else on football, man, before we get to a little bit of this basketball news here?
Nothing crazy. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, well, which we knew, NCAA, the top 25 came out, and it's mostly SEC teams. ACC got more than I thought they would. Like, SMU got in there, Louisville got in there, and I'm kind of a little bit surprised at that, but hopefully we'll be able to, or the ACC will be able to sustain it, and Clemson is not in the top 25 for the first time since, if I'm not mistaken, Dabo's first year or first couple of years, right, which was in the 13-14. And so that's a new thing. So they should come with a chip on their shoulder. But I think they got to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback. They got to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback. I think Dabo kind of capitulated a little bit with the transfer portal. So we'll see how that goes for them. And if it doesn't go well, then I think Dabo is on a 1-year contract after this season.
I was thinking about something in reference to college football and the NIL aspect of it. You know how the Big Ten has won the last few championships, particularly since NIL has come into play. And I think if they don't have any guardrails around it, because you know the SEC, you just mentioned the SEC, right? The SEC schools, while they are good and they are a lot dominating in the ranking, those schools don't have the big donor base, I think. While they have big donor bases, but the Big Ten, man, the Big Ten has major donor bases. Like the CEO of Google is a graduate of Michigan. And, They got Mark Cuban. He funded a lot of Indiana's team, and how much the landscape has changed with the Big Ten winning all these championships. So I'm just wondering, as a SEC, Alabama and SEC fan, how are we going to be able to compete with that landscape the way it is now, the Wild Wild West, where they don't have no cap, they don't have any, as long as you can give all the kids whatever you can afford to give them. Is someone going to be able to stem that tide with the Big Ten? Because they looking pretty dominant, at least at the top. I'm not saying top to bottom, but at the top, Ohio State, Michigan State, Indiana, those teams got money, man, more than everybody else.
So you saying just a name and historical recognition alone ain't gonna cut it no more, huh? Nobody care about Bear Bryant and Nick Saban if you ain't cutting checks.
Hey, look, Alabama ain't gonna get it, man. So he gonna have to do something. I mean, we just got the guy. Gosh, first name Keelan, the quarterback that won the job. And he's good. He come from Dallas, and Dallas high school football is another level than anywhere else. So they have to. I mean, if you're good out there, you're good. So he's going to be leading Alabama, and they have a lot of good defensive players that are returning from last year, and they're adding to it. So they should be better, but they still have, look at their schedule. They have 5 games. Alabama should start 5-0 because they playing like Kentucky, Mississippi State, and some of those teams, lower level SEC teams in their first 5 games. But then after that, they play LSU. I don't know what order this is in, but they play LSU, they play Tennessee, they play Georgia, all back to back. They got like 4 games after those first 5, man. Well, that's going to test their season. And I guess the point that I was trying to make is, to me, the way with Alabama and SEC, the way they used to dominate college football and the way the Big Ten is buying it now, it speaks to, I guess.
Wait, hold on, wait. I ain't gonna let you just
slide over that one.
Said what I said. Said what I said.
He said the Big Ten is buying it.
I mean, it speaks to the level of coaching that they had back when Nick Saban was there. They were able to get all those guys based on name recognition and the pay. Obviously, everybody was paying stuff to players under the table. I ain't gonna say Alabama was not doing that.
Absolutely not.
I ain't gonna say that at all.
Yeah, please don't.
They were able to get everybody when that wasn't the law now, that it was just out there. But I don't know. But go ahead, Don. I'll pass it off.
Nah, I was just gonna say, see, it's tough to say that they're buying the championships because if that were the case, then Texas would have been won however many in a row. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't, right? So it's tough that's tough on that sense. I think just being behind the curtain, everybody's playing the same game, and it still comes down to the relationships you got with these kids. And I mean, last year Indiana, I think, was kind of an anomaly, just because they recruited well in the transfer portal. A lot of them kids came with coach from JMU and everything like that. So they were a great football team at JMU. And so that was kind of an anomaly, but I think from now on, I think it's gonna be more parity in college football. I think the SEC is gonna still dominate, right? Because of the tradition, because of the money, right? I mean, and the SEC is still thought of as like, if you're looking in the NFL, I don't care, the Big 10, Big 12, they win national championships and stuff. But if you look at the NFL draft, what conference is sending most of them kids to the league? It's the SEC. It's the SEC. And I think that's big with kids, and that's big with parents, right? And so I think they'll get back to dominating this year. I feel like I got a lot of faith in Lane Kiffin. I mean, if you're gonna be real about it, Lane Kiffin, you put some money behind Lane Kiffin. He is a good football coach. Now he may not be there the day after the national championship. He may slide on you, sign a 5-year deal, and only coach one of those. But he might get you one. He might get you one, especially at LSU.
Not this year though.
You don't think so?
No, it's set up for Texas.
With the portal, it don't take development
set up
now.
for Texas.
Yeah, but
everything's set up for Texas.
I mean, I still think even with this landscape, you gonna need to develop players at least 1 year. They're not gonna win the first year you with them. I don't think so. Not in college. I mean,
Indiana.
Indiana, them boys was together though. They played. Indiana went to the college football playoff 2 years before they won, I think, or at least 1 year before they won. So
Quiet as kept. Wake Forest got a squad like that too, man. Real low key. That coach bring a lot of his guys over. Yeah, so I look at Wake Forest and try to make a little bit of noise in the ACC. I know it's the ACC and it ain't.
I'm about to say. I thought you said I thought you about to say made the college football playoff.
Nope. I had a good night last night, but it wasn't that great.
I think Miami and Notre Dame, man, it's gonna be tough to get out of there.
Notre Dame is shooting themselves in the foot, man. Every time not being part of a conference, you're shooting yourself in the foot, especially now.
Their schedule, if they lose one game, they out because they got so many cupcakes on there.
Yeah, it's gonna be another one of those. Get to the end of the season, complaining about not getting in, is that the third? So, quick question for you guys, college-wise: who's on the hot seat more? That's a terrible way to phrase that. Which one of these folks gonna get the pink slip first? My man Dabo Swinney or Caleb DeBoer at Alabama?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like that one.
Because just winning is not enough at these schools, homie. It's what you win that matters. Because your man Ohio State, they say every year he on the hot seat when he lose to Michigan. Even when he won the championship, you still lost to Michigan.
Brian Day.
Job in jeopardy. Yeah,
I put it like this. And I'm going to answer the question, and you're not going to like the answer, but it's going to technically be the correct answer.
Okay, correct.
I think Caleb DeBoer will get the pink slip. I think if Dabo is like leaving, he's gonna resign. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm done. I think Clemson needs more than me right now, and so I'm gonna just walk away. Behind the scenes, they're gonna be like, look, hey, Dabo, we need you to go, but you've done so much for this program, we're gonna allow you to just resign. Caleb DeBoer, if he don't win, they're gonna show up. They're gonna be at his desk. He gonna be at the front with the key, and it's not gonna work. And like what was it? Jamal Adams did at the Jets facility. He can be walking in there with his key, and it's just not gonna work. He gonna go to the office and be like, "Sir, we're gonna need your parking space. We're gonna need that corporate card, and we'll holler at you." So I think Caleb DeBoer get the pink slip. Dabo, I think he'll be allowed to resign, but I think their job is both of their jobs is in jeopardy this year.
Man, and they're going to be trying to buy out Lane Kiffin if they do
Alabama?
That. Yeah, man.
Alabama or Clemson?
Alabama, because they wanted, when Nick left, they didn't give an interview to Lane Kiffin. He wanted to come to Alabama then, but they just was hot.
But see, no, you know what's going to happen? You know where Dabo Swinney went to school.
Yeah, I know. He played with a guy I went to high school with. They won that championship together.
He's going to resign.
Dabo went to Alabama.
He's going to resign. He's going to take the job at Alabama.
Well, the thing of it is, though, with Dabo, because I heard something, and you can tell me if this is true, that he said, again, like he got into the transfer portal the last couple years, but he said this offseason that he wanted to go back to like traditional recruiting kind of thing. That might hurt him in going to a school like Alabama. Alabama wants you to get it how you can get
do whatever. Yeah, do whatever. You try. I just need you to win. I don't care how you win. Don't tell me.
They're gonna be like, if you coming up in here and you got this chip on your shoulder, talking about you don't want to get in the transfer portal, you don't want to use NIL. What your plan better be? You better have a hell of a plan.
And I think he doesn't. I don't think it's he doesn't want to use NIL because them Clemson guys getting paid. They've been getting paid for a while, but I think it's just like you said, the transfer portal. But I think that's what they'll say in the interview. They're gonna sit him down and say, "Hey, Dabo, are you what's your thoughts on the transfer portal? Are you willing to bring in 25 transfers next year or 50, 60 transfers to overhaul this roster?" If he says no, okay, well, I appreciate you, sir. And then they're gonna move on to the next guy. So he'll have to answer that question correctly. But I think he's smart enough to answer it correctly, to get the job, and then do what he wants to do when he gets the job. So I think I thought he would be it this year. I thought he was going to leave, and I thought Caleb DeBoer was going to be out this year. But I think he'll end up getting it next year if Alabama doesn't have it.
I have Caleb DeBoer as being, more in jeopardy of getting that pink slip. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's going to be a lot easier to replace him. Anybody will want to come to coach Alabama, whereas Clemson, that's not so much of as an appealing job to go down there. That's really the main reason. Because when Clemson looks at the college coaching landscape, they're like, well, who we gonna get better than Dabo to come here? I don't think coaches are just knocking on the door to come to Clemson like that.
Kurt Signetti. They'll have their pick of who they want to come in there. That's why I was so surprised when they
That's
got
a great call, man.
You know,
Mark Cuban will pay somebody to burn Alabama down if you think that he letting Kurt Signetti get from Indiana. I'm going to tell you that right. And that's going to be a mysterious fire at Bear Bryant Stadium if you think Kurt Signetti just going to two-step his way on up out of Indiana. But yeah.
But they gonna have they pick if Kalen DeBoer gets cut. They gonna have they pick of who they can get. I think so. We'll see.
When they let him go, it's not that his key card ain't gonna work. Paul Feinbaum gonna be standing in his parking spot when he pull up. That's how he gonna find out he don't work there no more. Yeah, that's how he gonna find out he don't work there no more.
Hey, I know. Sidebar: have y'all seen that meme or that clip with Paul Feinbaum? They up there on the college show that they do on SEC Network. Tim Tebow and Marcus Spears and what's the dude that do the NASCAR stuff on ESPN?
Marty
Smith. Yeah, and they talk about haircut.
Yeah, he said, Paul, what do you tell the barber?
That is one of the funniest because Marty Smith said, yeah, I just tell him to go a 2 all the way up to a fade and give me a faux hawk. And then they were talking
I'm trying to see if I can find it. Trying to see if I can find it.
Hey, Paul, what do you tell him? And they started falling out like he said, hey, just a little bit off the sides. Bro, that is one of the funniest clips. And I can't start college football season without seeing that clip, man. God, that's one of the most funny clips.
Hey, one more other thing that I thought about when I was thinking about the NIL thing.
Hold on, fellas. Hold on. Let me bring it. See if I can bring it up for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they about to fall out. Yeah.
One of the funniest memes, or one of the funniest clips I can watch, bro. I watch it every time, every college football season.
But one thing I thought about in reference to the NIL with the ACC, you know, because North Carolina, Duke, NC State, everybody, this ACC is pretty much their history is basketball, right? Except for like Miami, Florida State, but I think that this area is fertile with good. Like North Carolina got a lot of big time donors too. They just will be willing. They're more willing to put their dollars behind basketball than football. So they could be like, I remember, and you guys remember too, back when Butch Davis coached them and they got in all that trouble. North Carolina had a team that was primed to win the championship that year.
We were going to win the national championship in 2009. You not finna tell me no otherwise,
They had a squad that was going to win. So they could get them, but I think the boosters and stuff at Carolina and probably Duke, they want their money to go towards basketball, and they need to rethink that a little bit so that they can compete in both. But I think they could have some money to get some better recruits in there too.
I mean, I think that's what at least Carolina, I think that's the direction they were attempting to go with the Bill Belichick hiring and the GM hiring. They just trying to
Shorty came in there and messed everything up.
He let that woman come in there and just destroy it for. Hey,
what's the downfall of all our superheroes?
I was just about to say
Batman, his downfall.
I was gonna say Jordan, because it's a Jordan that killed this too. So Jordan,
come on, man.
Jordan is undefeated.
Like it's just bad, man. It's just bad. Just go ahead, Bill. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you may go 6-6 this year or 6-5 with however many games you got, and then you got to go. You got to go. We need somebody else, and I don't know who. And that's the sad part. I don't know who we would hire at this point. Actually, I do know who we would hire. We would hire the coach and mark this, okay? Mark, I said this. The coach from Montana State, the head coach at Montana State. Watch that. He is a really good coach, and I know their defensive, their assistant head coach would have been saying, "Oh, shout out Jody Owens." All right, but he is a great coach. He's been supposed to have one of these Power 5 jobs. If they win another national championship this year.
That's that team that always plays North Dakota State in the
FCS national championship. Absolutely. If he wins the national championship this year like they won last year, then I think he'll be up for one of these Power 5 jobs, and I hope we hire him at Carolina because he's a really good coach. And I mean, last year off the team last year, they didn't lose anybody. Right, they got their quarterbacks. All their main guys came back, and they got a couple of guys from the transfer portal. So watch what I say.
That's
And I don't
why.
even look up his
That's
name.
why it might not happen, man. Carolina might go 8-4 this year. They
You think
might
so?
have they might have a decent, okay season because of what you just
Distractions,
said.
man.
I don't know. I mean, and that might force them to keep Bill if they
That would
win
definitely force
7
them. Yep.
or 8 games. If they win 7 or 8 games, Bill is going to stay there,
You're right.
and they might.
Brett Vegan, that's his name, the head coach at Montana State. But nah, if Bill wins 8 games, oh man, he's definitely getting another year, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see, man. We will see. In NBA news, it seems they haven't really came out and been definitive about this, but it seems that they don't have anything on the Clippers as far as this Kawhi situation, like going around the luxury tax and apron and all that, funneling him money. That's what they're saying. They're saying there's nothing there. But that other story that broke, I'm wondering how that's gonna come into play now. The one where they're like Daktronics, the Daktronics story.
Mm-hmm.
How they said, like, yeah, everybody knows that's what happened in that situation. So is there anything they can do about that? That's what I'd be willing to find out. Because, the Brandon Ingram trade and Grady Dick trade is still hasn't been finalized.
Still in the air.
Who knows what's going to happen there, man? I mean, I'm wondering if they didn't find anything or whatever. What some of them gonna sue Pablo Torre? What for the stories he put out there? Or
I'm telling you, man, Pablo can't walk in LA.
He like Drake.
I
Right.
think a lot of things are going on in NBA, just kind of scrambling, trying to cover things up, man. Like that dude selling the Lakers, like we talked about last week. You got that. I think that was part of a bigger plan with that dude and his investigation. This with the Clippers, all of this stuff is kind of, they just want to get past it, and especially Adam Silver, man. He's just looking bad by the day with this, and they afraid of the guy that owns the Clippers, Steve Ballmer. Yeah, because Steve Ballmer got, the deepest pockets in the whole league. They don't want to try to make him look bad and then him retaliate and do his own independent investigations of other owners. Because man, it
ain't nobody clean.
Big own somebody. Yeah, ain't nobody.
Ain't nobody clean. Yeah, and he know all the skeletons are buried.
They don't want to have him run after everybody else. So I think they're going to go light on him anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of going light, James Harden just picked up another light, $97 million for 3 years. The chocolate Kirk Cousins strikes again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. It paid the most for doing the least, boy.
What? Man, no defense get you $97 million?
Hey.
Well, and that's the sad part, man. That's the sad part about today's. It's not sad, but it's just tough with today's NBA. Like, we talk so much about, like, well, not enough, but defensively, and like you get guys that are getting the most and literally cones. Luka is a cone on defense. James Harden is a cone on defense. Like, these guys are cones and they getting paid the most of anybody. So that's just saying, hey, look, if you can come in here and get a bucket, you can play. And I talked to my brother the other day, and he's in LA, so he's playing different runs and stuff like that he goes to, and he just talks about how bad it is with basketball these days. Guys just coming down playing one-on-one and shooting. Like, not moving the ball, not passing. And that's just what they see in the NBA. NBA is one-on-one until you get to the playoffs. Then guys want to actually sit down and defend, move the ball, things like that. But other than that, it's just everybody standing there. Okay, yeah, now you get yours. All right, now swing it. All right, now he gonna get. It's just bad, man. It's just bad. We don't take pride in competing anymore on defense. And I hate it.
And that kind of stuff you can't turn on and off.
Nah.
So what y'all are telling me is the NBA look like high school summer YBL game, Peach Jam and all that. That's the AAU.
That's what Peach Jam. That's where they got it from. That's where they got it from. They got it from the NBA players. They seeing what's going on. So, and if we're gonna take it a step further, a lot of guys aren't playing like we played outside. You know what I'm saying? And we played we played with grown men on the court, things like that. We didn't have trainers to play with us. It was just like, okay, how do you get better at basketball? You go play. Now they're doing the opposite. Now they're working with trainers and stuff like that, playing one-on-one instead of playing actual basketball. So when they get a 5-on-5 setting, they don't really know how to adapt, right? And so it's just making things tougher and making, like I said, guys not competing on defense. They don't care if a dude score on them. They just trying to be out there and get there.
And Cleveland, I mean, I guess they trying to protect James Harden with the other guy that they just signed from Denver.
Peyton.
Peyton Watson, that's his name, right? Yeah, he's a good two-way player. Maybe they trying to have him cover up James Harden defense or something. And at least with Luka, you were talking about Luka, he's a more efficient scorer than James Harden is. James Harden get hit on a lot of shots sometimes.
So the Luka though, they play the same way.
They play the
Ball
same way.
dominant.
I think doesn't Luka have a high percentage? I'm not sure, man. He may not have a high field goal percentage, I think. But the point is the same.
Yeah, they the same dude, man. That one just got dipped in chocolate, same guy. Miami Heat, great pickup with Klay Thompson, or a little too late?
I mean, it's what they need, 3-point shooter. I think it's decent because, I mean, he's not the defender that he used to be. He used to be a good big-time defender. They have Giannis, they have Bam. It's going to be back there covering up mistakes, I guess, and stuff like that. I think it moves them forward a little bit, but I'm not sure if they if it moves the needle a whole lot,
Don?
Yeah, I think that they needed shooting. And so if Klay can come in and be like even a shred of what he was in Golden State and come in like he's going to get a lot of shots, right? Because you're going to have Bam in the paint. You're going to have Giannis attacking the basket. And so he's going to get a lot of them shots that he might not have got last year in Dallas, right? And so I think if he can be, which if there was anywhere that was gonna I'm not gonna say revive his career because his career hasn't he is not on life support or anything like that. But if there was anywhere to revive his career, it would be Miami. He's gonna be in the best shape of his life because they have a body fat rule down there. You got to be in under, I want to say 2 or 4% body fat. So you're gonna be in the best shape of your life and you're gonna be getting reps right now. Klay, stay off the strip. Stay off South Beach, right? Just stay in the gym. I know your ex-girl gonna be out there sometimes. I know she gonna be on the beach and you will hear stories about her. But just stay in the gym because now you can shoot as much as you want and y'all have an opportunity to compete for another chip like you did in Golden State, right? And so I think if he can be allowed just to play his game, they got a good opportunity to be in the Eastern Conference or compete for the Eastern Conference final.
One thing about Miami too, I mean, is what you said, stay out the streets, stay off the street.
You got to.
Miami Heat, they have, I haven't heard of a scandal or a player getting caught up like that on their team. I don't think ever. I can't even remember. So they got a pretty good hold on that kind of stuff down there.
Pat Riley got a camera in every club. They got his own security.
They be using the flock cameras down for real. The Heat used them all to keep up with them players in Miami.
Plus, man, Klay got his boats and stuff, so he right down there. He ain't gonna be on the strip. He gonna be on the water.
I just hope he's not out there checking on his ex-girl, man. You know how that go when you want to break up, especially when you light skin, now you gonna be stalking her. Hopefully you not watching her whereabouts, stuff like that, man. Just ease up. There's so many more women out in Miami, man. Just let her go, hoop, find you another little Colombian joint out there in Miami and just enjoy her.
Yeah, so what he's saying is go somewhere where they focus on nothing but basketball, like DeMar DeRozan did. DeMar DeRozan's going to Denver. Ain't really much to get into, except some weed or something like that out there in Denver.
Hold on. Did I not say that last week? Did I not say that was the perfect place for him last week?
Yeah, both
you
of
may
y'all
have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just got the crystal ball, but nah. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan, man. I think now
he wanted to go to Miami.
They're a serious contender. They're a serious contender, man, because they got shooting like we talked about last week. They have shooting. Obviously, Joker's gonna be Joker. He's gonna get the ball in his spots every single time because Joker is one of the best passers in the league, regardless of position. So they're a serious contender, man. They're a serious contender. That was a great move for DeMar DeRozan, and hopefully now he has an opportunity to win a championship.
I'm not so sure, Don.
About
them being a serious contender.
You don't think so?
Yeah, because they gave away Peyton Watson.
They did.
And he's a much better defender than DeMar DeRozan. And Peyton Watson shot 41% 3-points last year.
That's true.
DeMar DeRozan doesn't shoot 3-pointers. That's why y'all, when I said Miami, y'all was like, no, they need 3-point shooting. which is true because he's more of a mid-range guy and he's going to play well for Denver, but offensively, as a defender, man, he's not moving the needle for them. So I think it's gonna be a net negative, them losing Peyton Watson and bringing in DeMar DeRozan, because your boy Joker, I know he's a good 3-point shooter, but he still wants to operate down low too. So he gonna need some space for that. Aaron Gordon, well, he's a more of a, I guess, a rim runner kind of player, but he's also
He can shoot threes
good
though.
for
He's
that.
expanded his game.
Yeah,
He's expanded his
He
game.
shoots
he did
threes,
improve.
yeah.
He improved on his
threes.
3-point shooting.
Cam Jordan's on their team, right?
Cam Johnson.
So Cam Johnson, thank you.
He's a 3-point shooter.
He's a 3-point shooter. I'm worried about them on it. I don't know why, because we just said defense is optional. But I am worried about them on the defensive end with losing Peyton Watson.
Yeah, I
think
that I didn't take that into account. But go ahead, 58.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think where DeMar DeRozan is really going to come in and help out is when Jamal Murray has those streaky, like 5-6 games where he's in a slump, because that seems to be the norm for him. So that's where DeMar DeRozan is going to come in. You know what I mean, with that effective mid-range game and keep the team afloat till they get to the playoffs and things like that. You're right about he's not as good of a defender, but I think he's serviceable. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna get by him. He's serviceable, and plus he has size. That's really what they're going for out west anyway right now, man. Is size and ability. So where they're gonna rank in out west, I'm not too confident on that one just yet. I can tell you they'll be ahead of the Lakers, but that ain't really saying too much.
Ain't really saying too much.
The Cavaliers, man. The Cavaliers had some pretty nice additions. Aside from the Peyton Watson addition, I want to say Cam Whitmore. Yeah, Cam Whitmore is on the Cleveland Cavaliers now. So the firepower is there. I'm just not sure if they're going to hold on to all these scoring guards and shooters that they had.
Yeah, they might unload some of them maybe by the trade deadline or something. But, on paper, they do look like a good team, man. The thing you worry about with the Cavaliers, I do anyway, is toughness. How much are they gonna play when it get real in the playoffs? And I gotta wait and see that. It's kind of like I said with the Cowboys.
I mean, analytically, the Cavaliers are the best team in the NBA.
Analytically,
yeah, analytically, they won the NBA championship. Won the NBA championship by a landslide. Straight up and down. I thought it was one more NBA story, but I guess not.
I got something I wanted to bring
yes,
up,
sir.
man. Watched a video from this podcast that I like to watch, called the one Rob. I don't know if y'all know Rob Parker, but it's the one he on, called The Odd Couple. And they were talking about Philly and how the NBA has blessed them with the easiest schedule in the league. And you know that your boy was waiting on LeBron to make his decision before he released the schedule. Adam Silver was. So clearly, but here's the point that they made about the Philly having the easiest schedule. They said they have no Western Conference. They don't play a Western Conference opponent until their 18th game. They say they don't go on the road in the West until their 21st game. They have no Western Conference road trips with, extensive three or four games in a row on the West Coast until Christmas. They have the least amount of 3 games in 4 nights of any team, and they have the least amount of back-to-backs of any team. But they have the most national TV games.
We knew that was coming. Wherever LeBron went was going to have the most nationally televised game.
But see, this leads to the point that they were making, which I thought was very interesting. They were saying, why does the NBA continue to do these things for LeBron? This is what they were saying. Why do they continuously do these things for LeBron? Because they made some good points. Like, he hasn't been winning the chip in a while now. And what else were they saying? I wrote some of this stuff down, but and the points they were making was over the course of his career, outside of his personal accolades and things, the net positive for the NBA hasn't really been there in a while in terms of featuring LeBron the way they do. So I thought that was interesting, man. And they said, like I said, he doesn't win. Some of the things that he has brought with the league since he's been there, some of the things I think we've complained about in terms of the lack of competitiveness, in the regular season, but more players kind of wanting to build their own teams and things like that, or flopping. The All-Star game losing its luster and competitiveness. They kind of said all of these things kind of happened since LeBron is in the league, and they brought up that you have more new players that you could highlight, like Wemby, like the guys that are coming in the league now because this draft was supposedly so strong, like the New York Knicks who just won a championship and stuff. It's why not feature them and show less favoritism to LeBron? I just wanted to make that point about what they were saying on that podcast because I thought it was interesting.
Well, so this is what I say as far as that goes, man. I'm not gonna put the lack of competitiveness on him. I mean, it ain't like he calling guys saying, "Hey, yo, don't compete when you get out there on the floor." I wouldn't. You can't put that on one player. And as far as him getting the looks that he has, as far as TV wise and things like that, I still think he's one of the biggest draws in the NBA. I mean, by far. The name alone invokes either really, really strong hatred or really, really, really strong fandom. That's what you want. You know what I mean?
New eyeballs aren't coming because of him.
No, they're not. They're not coming because of him, but I don't think you lost any basketball fans because of him either, though. Like the newer guys, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're electric. Like this would have been a Ja Morant conversation had he knew not to turn the camera phone on when in your all time. You know what I mean? But it's your Anthony Edwards, it's your Wembanyama's. Hell, it's even Jalen Brunson. You know what I mean? The one of the best under the rim scorers, known to man. But yeah, now that NBA All-Star situation, I think Kevin Garnett had put it the best when he talked about how that game against Kobe, where they gave LeBron the ball, Kobe came down, hit the shot, came back on defense, slapped the floor, meaning it's time for us to go, one-on-one, let's go shot for shot, and LeBron passed the ball off. Maybe that I might can give him that, but I ain't gonna sit here and blame that man for some of the way the league is going, because guys still can take it upon themselves to compete or not. I don't think that one's fair. Don, go ahead, man.
I mean, first of all, I'll say the fact that the dunk contest is shitty as it is now, that's LeBron's fault, because
Thank you. I was gonna say
he never chose to get in. And so now guys have taken that for like, okay, well, if LeBron not doing it, then, I mean, it ain't worth nothing then, right? The best player in the game who probably can jump the highest and is the most electric isn't doing it, and then guess what? I'm not doing it because it ain't worth nothing. That's how you get G League players in the dunk contest and winning the dunk contest 3 times and stuff like that. So I think, in my opinion, that's his fault, right? Part of the All-Star game is his fault too, 58, because of what you said, and he passed on that when Kobe lined him up. You know what I'm saying?
I give him
but
that.
Also, part of the year that the dunk contest, I can't remember if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when it came back and it was like actually competitive game, that was a part of his doing as well, because he in the locker room was like, hey, look, this is how we're going to play. This, when in the fourth quarter, we're going to line it up and we're going to go. First quarter through 1 through 3 quarters, just everybody get yours. Get put on a show for the fans. But the fourth quarter, we're going to actually compete, right? So I think that's his doing as well. And if we're talking about the regular season, like, it's LeBron James. It's LeBron James, right? How much he's done for this league as far as the valuations, as far as the salary caps, as far as the CBA, as far as the TV deal, all of that kind of stuff. That's why you put him on TV the most. That's why you give him the least amount.
The floor, though, is what they're talking about in terms of the lack of regular season competition. Guys just want to be.
And that's fine.
They said this. And well, I go back to one of your points. The dunk contest is something I was gonna say, because I think part of what some people, this is just my thought, part of the reason why people will say that he is not a GOAT because of that kind of thing, and just when you looked at players like Mike, we're using him, the type of shot making Mike used to do with the dipsy do layups and all that stuff elevated him. And I think that's just a small part of it too. But yeah, he should have been in the dunk contest, and that would have helped that to be more relevant. All-Star games, when guys were playing in the All-Star games early years ago, they used to play hard in the first quarter and in the fourth quarter. And that made the All-Star game good because you could see the difference between, all right, they just playing around right now. Now these guys are serious and they will be coming at each other. And that just made it be an event for me.
No
As far
doubt.
as that
And
dunk
that's
contest, let me address the dunk
Yeah, go ahead.
contest thing real quick, Don. I'm not mad at LeBron for not being in the dunk contest. I'm going to tell you why, man. It's a lot of guys who are just really great in-game dunkers. I don't think he's a great contest dunker. That's why I was never mad at him about that. I'm like, because for one, you got to think, for somebody his size, the type of stuff you're going to have to pull off for it to look good to that crowd, I don't think he got it in him to do that kind of stuff. Like, have y'all been watching the Shaq? He got like a whole dunk league. He gonna have to do some stuff. Yeah, he gonna have to do some stuff.
That.
Them guys. Yeah, they got like Matt McClung is in that dunk league. That's like three. It's like a team of 3 or 4 guys going against another 3 or 4 guys, and best dunks win. Then they come out. I think they get like $500K for the best dunker or whatever. To be quite honest with you, man, some of them guys should be sponsored by an NBA player in a dunk contest. Do that one season or something like that. But as far as him not being in a dunk contest, I get it because I don't think he's a contestant type of dunker, just a really great in-game dunker. But go ahead, man. I just wanted to throw that out there about the dunk contest.
Nah, you good. And I can feel that. And I'm like, but my issue is at least throw your hat in the ring, right? I understand you might not
make it an event
to keep the validity of it, right? You got to understand who you are as a player to make sure the shit is still valid and that people actually, because what we're talking about is the NBA is a business, right? And so to keep the validity and to keep the people watching and people going to the actual game, LeBron James has to be in that, right? But that's also the reason LeBron James and the Sixers have the least amount of back-to-backs, have the least amount of three games in 4 nights, right? Have the easiest schedule because it's still LeBron James and it still is a business. And people still want to either see him win or want to see him lose. So that's why this is going on. That's why until he gets out the league, it's going to still go on, right? You're going to want to take care of him. That's why you put the Christmas game, the Sixers are playing the Lakers in LA so LeBron can be at his house in LA on Christmas with his family, right? Because it's a business. And the thing about it, how much he's done for the league since he stepped into the league, he deserves that. He deserves that, right?
But
Like the refs used to treat the refs used to treat Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan earned that. LeBron has earned this. You know what I'm saying? So this is the way he goes out in his last 1 to 2 years, and then he'll ride off into the sun, and then the next guy that'll be treated like this is probably going to be Wemby.
But here's the thing, if it's a business, right, and you're losing viewers, the NBA Finals last year was the highest finals since '98. So you were gaining viewers because of that. Why not ride that out and feature some of them guys that were in that series and try to build the viewership up? I mean, it's a business. You want people to watch you. Now, I'm not saying don't feature LeBron at all, but I do see their point in like, man, we have a lot of other stars in the league that might bring some new eyes to our league. The anticipation with these guys that got drafted, Caleb Wilson, and I ain't saying this because I'm a fan. Caleb Wilson ain't got no national televised games. Washington Wizards and Utah Jazz, Darren Peterson and DeBonsa, how often are they on there? Let's see if we can ride this out with these new guys.
Are those bigger draws than LeBron James?
They might be.
Any of
We
those
don't
bigger
know.
draws than LeBron James combined? No.
We don't know.
So I'm going to put the bigger draw we have now. We got guys. Those guys will be in the league. They're going to be in the league for 5, 10, 15 more years. LeBron James has 2 more years, and people are going to watch those games to either see him have a great season and see the Sixers have a great season, or to see them fall on their face. So I'm going to put them on TV the most because either way I'm winning. If they win, great. People want to see him win, and the haters are going to talk about, oh, they got this, that, and the third. If they lose, the guys that love LeBron are going to talk about, oh, well, they lost, or they lost because of this. And the haters are going to be like, I told y'all they wasn't going to be shit. Either way, the NBA wins. With them new guys, them teams are going to be sorry, and you don't know how they're going to act their rookie year. And they got as much time as they need, 10, 15, 20 years left in the league now to play. So I'm going to ride these last 2 years out with LeBron, who's been my biggest star over the past 20, 25 years. And then when those guys come in the league and they are a bigger draw, because they can be great basketball players and still not be to the NBA what LeBron was. and is, right, as far as from a marketing standpoint. And I don't think anybody right now, from a marketing standpoint, even the best players in the league after LeBron, like the top 5 players in the league, aren't the same marketing giant as LeBron is anyway. So they trying to make money.
I think, okay, so as far as this viewership thing goes, man, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue as it was a while ago. And the example I want to bring up is like in 1996. 1996 is by far the best NBA draft, hands down, known to man. But a lot of those really good players, we ain't really get to see them. Stephon Marbury was playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I ain't really get to see no Timberwolves games in North Carolina. Allen Iverson was playing for the 76ers. Only time we really got to see those guys, is on ESPN highlights. But now, with this right here, you know what I mean? You ain't got to wait for the ESPN top 10 or that 11 o'clock ESPN to see it. As soon as something breaks, you can put it on here so people can still, get a little bit more familiar with the players. Now, to go back to what you said about them not having any televised games, yeah, that's going to suck. But, I mean, people don't really sit down and watch too many full-length games anyway. So I don't really see how that's going to be
especially not regular season.
Yeah, and then plus when the All-Star weekend gets here and the rookies play the sophomores or however they want to do it, that'll be a bigger draw for them. That's something else to keep the All-Star weekend going. And back to what y'all was saying about the dunk contest, I agree with the aspect of it when y'all saying how you need to make it an event again, because growing up, that used to be the thing. At 8 o'clock on that Saturday, you wanted to make sure you were somewhere where you can watch what's going on in the dunk contest.
Locked in.
Yeah, definitely understand. But I still say LeBron shouldn't have did that. But I get what you're saying about you should at least have your name involved in it. That way you bring the people to it. So I guess two people can be right at once.
I just wanted to bring that up, man. Not obviously starting something. Either way, I just thought it was an interesting topic that they were talking about on that podcast.
Of course. Well, Rob Parker, I think Rob Parker and Skip Bayless are the same guy anyway when it comes to LeBron James. So yeah. Just when it comes to LeBron James,
Rob is a little better than Skip on other things, but on LeBron.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the night where we get to some of these segments, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coach Don with juiceless or useless. Make sure I get that right, man. My fault. What you got for him this week, Don? What you got for him?
Y'all know what it is, man. The hottest segment on YouTube, on TV, anywhere you gonna find juiceless or useless, and we usually say if you're juiceless, you're useless. But this segment, we're gonna talk about our juiceless guys with some admiration. Like, if you just get your stuff together, you can be a really good player, right? Or a really good team, or really good at whatever you're doing. Useless, can't do nothing with you. You're on the way out. I'm sorry, you see your better days, and that's how it goes. So today we're gonna start with our useless candidates, right? Our useless candidate today, man, is an organization who is on the downslide, and has been on the downslide for a while, right? And they're reeling this like a fish out of water. They don't know what they're doing, and obviously people can tell, right? And it's the NCAA. The NCAA, you are useless. You can't do nothing with you. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You got people in offices that have no clue what they're doing and are just making rules to capitulate to different people, right? Somebody sues you. Okay, cool. We're going to give you a 6th year. Somebody sues you again. Okay, cool. We're going to give everybody a 5th year. You don't have a clue what's going on. And I think it might be a situation where it's set up. And I want to say, Jay Billis say something one day, and he said that the NCAA was really letting it be the Wild West right now because they're hoping the federal government steps in and issues a stay and kind of stabilizes and helps them out. But right now, it's just all over the place. Like, I just opened my ESPN app, and the first headline I see is tight end goes from the Browns to LSU with historic twist.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're telling me an NFL player can go from being in the NFL playing and then go back to college just because somebody sued you? Now you got to give where are y'all going to stand on this? And then I feel like, man, it's going to be sad to see, but we're continuing to expand the NCAA tournament in basketball, man. And it's going to get to a point where just everybody is going to get in. And it's going to be 1 million teams. And it's going to be 1 million rounds. And the NCAA tournament is going to last for 3 months. And as much as we love college basketball, like, these kids, they need some time to rest. They got to rest at some point. And as fans, like, we ain't gonna be able to stand 128 teams, man. Like, we can't do that. We ain't got time for that, man. So NCAA, y'all are useless, and the SEC finna leave y'all in football. And if the ACC leave y'all in basketball, y'all really in trouble. And so I don't know how you respond from this. I don't know if you just need new leadership, if you need Nick Saban to come up there and kind of work with you, right? But we got to figure something out. Because this ain't working. So that's my useless candidate for the day. And as far as juiceless goes, this guy, right, I think he's useless right now by his own doing. But it seems like he might be up on the uptick. I think he won a starting job back on his team, even though they've been going through a quarterback battle, and I don't know how that team's going to do in the league in general. But Deshaun Watson, it looks like he's about to be the starter with the Browns, right? So that means he got in there. He won a starting job. Now, albeit it was 2 sophomore quarterbacks, right? So nothing crazy, but he got in there and he won him a job. You know what I'm saying? And because Deshaun Watson, and when he was with the Texans, his rookie year, and the first couple of years he was there, man, he was dynamic. He was one of the best players in as far as his age in the league. And defenses didn't know what to do with him. And so I hope he gets back to that. I think he just needs a reinvigoration. He needs some more guys to believe in him. He's playing with, I hope he plays with that chip on his shoulder this year. He needs his teammates to make some plays for him this year. But I think he's just been a little juiceless. And I think even though I don't see the Browns doing too much, I think he's going to come back. He's going to have a solid season. I hope and I don't see him being the reason that they are a bad team this year, even though I still think they're going to be a bad team, but I don't think he'll be the reason. But I think he'll reinvigorate his career, and I think he'll add some years onto the back end because of what he does this season. So Deshaun Watson is my juiceless candidate. The NCAA is my useless candidate. What y'all got? What y'all think about my candidates? Y'all got anybody that y'all want to vote for juiceless or useless?
No, I just want to make a comment about Deshaun Watson, man. When he came out, that was the year that we picked your boy from Carolina, Mitch Trubisky. You talking about somebody mad, boy. I was like, why y'all didn't pick Deshaun Watson? So, he was killing Alabama back then. I was like,
and Mitch only started 1 year at Carolina.
I was like, man, I was just hot about that. But I just, go ahead, 58. You about to say something.
Yeah, just for useless, man. It's going to have to be Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? Former one of the fastest players in the NFL. Looks like he won't be on a roster this upcoming NFL season. So by default, you are useless, sir. But thank you for all you have done. We wish you well on your future endeavors.
We'll holler at you.
Way to go. Yeah, well, yeah. How he do, my man, when they couldn't catch him?
Yeah.
And as far as juiceless, man, I guess it's gonna have to be Juju Smith-Schuster. He just got let go by the New York Giants. He had like a knee issue out there with the Giants, man. So
it will soon.
The Seahawks probably pick him up sooner or later. You know what I mean? If he can get healthy, they picking up everybody else. So yeah, they're my juiceless and my useless.
I'll take it, man. Hey, make sure y'all put in the comments, man. If y'all got any juiceless or useless candidates, make sure y'all put them in the comments and vote, right? Who's juiceless or useless candidate were the best. And if y'all got somebody that we ain't thought about, make sure you let us know down below.
Yeah, Mashawn, you getting ready to say something?
Yeah, I will say I got a juiceless candidate too, and it's really just because of how young he is. My juiceless candidate is J.J. McCarthy.
I was going to put him in useless.
I think
he belongs in that other category.
He pretty much is useless, but he is young enough where they can trade him somewhere. Maybe he get in the system where he can learn and be better. But I saw some highlights, or is a stretch to call them highlights, of his last game, man. I'm talking about the passes were way off target. I was like, wow, is this guy an NFL quarterback? These guys were open. He throwing it behind them, out of bounds and stuff like that. I was just blown by it, man.
Send him to Atlanta with the quarterback whisperer. Don, thank you so much, man, for juiceless or useless. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for this week's Mashawn's Sunday Night Live Top 5. Play that music.
All right,
Yes, sir,
y'all.
Mashawn, take it away.
All right, y'all. Well, this week we are going to outline the top 5 Super Bowl champions of the Super Bowl era. And I know a lot of people probably gonna have some honorable mentions too, because it's a lot of champions that were good. So I have a couple. The honorable mentions that I'm gonna start off with. I have the 04 Patriots. I think that was the best team of their dynasty in terms of that. It's hard to win back-to-back championships, and that team did that. And they had got Corey Dillon that year, and he became a beast for them. He was already a very good running back, but he just had one of his best years for that team. I think that was the first year that they got. I think not Marvin Harrison. What's the guy? He's on NBC now, but Harrison, he was on that team. He played very good defensively for them. Rodney Harrison. Thank you. Rodney Harrison. My second honorable mention, I have the 94 49ers. They were a very good team. Deion Sanders, first year there, and Steve Young, Ricky Waters, they just had a very good year. They defeated some good teams in the NFC playoffs, because the Cowboys were still a very good team. They played them in the NFC Championship game. But those are two teams I want to mention as an honorable mention before I get to the top 5. Top 5, my fifth team, the 72 Dolphins. I didn't watch that team, obviously, but I think 58 said something one time we were doing top 5 that it just seems like something you're supposed to do.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Mercury Morris, man. Don't call me when they're in my neighborhood. Call me when they're on my block.
Yeah. They had a lot of Hall of Famers on that team. Larry Zonka, Mercury Morris, like you mentioned, John Greasy, and they were the last undefeated team. That's something to be said about that. So I put them at the number 5 spot. Number 4, I have the 92 Cowboys. Triplets in full effect then. And then they had on that team Charles Haley. Was a dominant defensive lineman for that team. Leon led. Their defense was awesome, and the offensive line. Larry Allen, man, just a brick wall.
One of the best of all time.
I think at the time he could bench press 600 pounds, man. Crazy, And then Eric Williams, that line that Emmett was running behind, man, it was just awesome. Darren Woodson on the team still should be a Hall of Famer, but that crew there, they just came out of nowhere and were really, really dominant off that Herschel Walker trade. So I got the 92 Cowboys at number 4. Number 3, you have a team that you watch. I'm a kind of a guy who, when a team is dominant and they're not my team, I just want somebody to beat them. I felt like this about this team I'm about to say. The 1989 49ers, man, they were a very awesome team led by Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Roger Craig, John Taylor, Tom Rathman, and then on defense, Ronnie Lott. They had, Bill Romanowski was coming into his prime on that team, and that team just whipped everybody they played. I think they have the largest Super Bowl margin of victory to this day when they beat the Denver Broncos that year, 55-10. So that was a huge margin of victory there. Number 2, this team was dominant during the 80s. I had the 84 San Francisco 49ers. Again, that team went 15-1 during that regular season, and they beat the best quarterback in that Super Bowl that never won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino had the best season of a quarterback because of the rules, in my opinion, because of the rules at that time. He still threw for 5,000 yards and 48 touchdowns, was dominant during that year in the AFC, and the 49ers came and they whooped that team. They beat them 38-16 in the Super Bowl, and I think they had in the playoffs, they dominated both of their teams in the NFC playoffs. Number 1 Super Bowl team. I don't know what you expect me to say.
Which Bears team are you talking about?
Bears.
Yeah.
85 Bears, best Super Bowl team ever. Bears, 6 Hall of Famers on that team. On the defense, almost all of them on the defensive line. Again, another 15-1 team. NFC playoffs, they shut out both of their playoff games. Nobody scored on that team until the Super Bowl. And they had the second largest margin of victory when they beat the Patriots 46-10. very dominant team during that time. It's a shame. Obviously, those guys did not become a dynasty, but the Hall of Famers they had, obviously, Walter Payton on the offense. They had Jimbo Covert, offensive lineman, Richard Dent, Mike Singletary, Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael, and they had a lot of very good players on their defense too that just are outside of Hall of Fame candidacy. So that's the team, number one Super Bowl team of all time.
And don't forget the best rapping football team that you ever want to meet, the 85 Chicago Bears.
Bars.
Don, I'll go ahead, man, cause mine is pretty quick list, man. Go ahead and preface this by saying I didn't have any other historical teams really on my list. I just wanted to stick with teams I watched play. Cause like Mashawn said, you know, it's a bunch of teams that you can put in here, especially you got to mention the 72 Dolphins just because it's something you're supposed to do. So I'll throw them as an honorable mention. But my number 5 team was that 08 New York Giants team who beat the undefeated New England Patriots. I didn't want to put the Giants on my list, but hey, I had to show some respect. They did what a lot of other teams couldn't do that season. They actually beat the New England Patriots. Number 4, I got the Philly Eagles from 2023. And when everybody was talking about how Kansas City is supposed to be a dynasty, they dog walked them boys in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, for whatever reason, still getting crapped on for being a game manager after putting that Super Bowl victory up under his belt. I don't know. I guess they just hate Jalen Hurts for some reason. Number 3, I got the 0-1 Baltimore Ravens, man. I ain't never been so excited to watch a team play defense in my life, man. The 0-1 Ravens was it. Ed Reed, of course, you know, you got your man Squirrel, Ray Lewis, you know what I mean? Off the field stuff, you know, whatever, but on the field, he was a killer.
Literally.
Number 2, I got the 09 Pittsburgh Steelers, man. One time for Santonio Holmes with the toe tap. You know what I mean? One time for him. And number 1, it pains me to put them there, but the 2017 New England Patriots, man, I went to sleep. They were losing 21-3. I woke up and I was hot. Do you hear me? I was hot. I ain't never liked the Atlanta Falcons ever since. Like, I'm already a Panther fan, so you know how that goes. But for y'all to do that, man, look here. I ain't never liked I have a disdain for the Falcons. You know what I mean? Like Dave Gettleman could sell the Carolina Panthers. I still would not be an Atlanta Falcon fan because of what y'all did being up 21-3 in the Super Bowl. So yes, that's my top 5. Don, you take it away, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little quick with this one too. And again, most of these teams are teams that
Cowboys.
Most of these teams are teams that, or my favorite, more my favorite that I, you know what I'm saying, remember to an extent. All right, first is 93 Dallas Cowboys. Right now, I'm gonna leave that at. I'm gonna go from 1 to 5. I'm gonna go from 1 to 5. I'm gonna go 93 Cowboys. Shocker. Right? I was born in 93, and we won the year I was born. Troy Aikman, obviously Emmitt Smith, Nate Newton, all the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys that you know, the Charles Haleys, right? Leon Lett, Jim Jeffcoat, like all them guys, Ken Norton, like those guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys, right? 93 Cowboys is at 1. 96 Cowboys is at 2. All right? Because we were even better, right? Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith. That was when we had Deion, Darren Woodson, Charles Haley. Like, we got better. And then, like you said, Mashawn, Larry Allen. Like, we got better and we improved on the design. Mike Irvin, the playmaker, you know what it is, right? 96 Cowboys, that's at my 2. It was fighting for 1, but I was born in 93, so I put him at 2. Number 3, 92 Cowboys, right? I don't need no explanation. We know what it is.
I'm noticing the thing.
Pretty much the same team each time.
We know what it is. Pretty much the same team as the 93 team, right? They're only third because I really think 96 is the best, but 93 is the year I was born, so that's why I put them at 1. 92 Cowboys, number 3. All right, number 4. Okay, the greatest show on turf. All right, 99 Rams. It was the team that I remember the most. At the time, I had a Marshall Faulk jersey. That's all you used to see on ESPN. Shout out to Torrey Holt, North Carolina boy, right? But they were the team, and Marshall Faulk was the guy. Like, everybody, you had a Marshall Faulk jersey, you knew Marshall Faulk, and he was the team that everybody was wearing, or he was the jersey everybody was wearing. This was the team everybody knew about. So I put them at my 4, right? And then number 5, my favorite player, football player of all time is Ray Lewis, right? So I got to go with the 2012 Ravens, right? With all the guys, T. Sizzle, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, all the guys, man. I really enjoyed, like you said, 58, I really enjoyed watching that team play defense, man. I really enjoyed watching them go out there and play defense every week. And this was when Ray Lewis was on the out, and they knew he wouldn't have much left. So they went out there and they all balled, right? Courtney Upshaw was on that team. Who else was on that team? Jimmy Smith, Kerry Williams, Corey Smith, I'm sorry. And then obviously had one of the best kickers of all time, and Justin Tucker. So Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl MVP, Ray Rice at running back, and we're going to leave that right there. But one of the most fun teams I had or I watched growing up, just watching them play, man. And that was when I watched that team and Ray Lewis before I went to play on Saturday, right? Just because of how he used to approach the game. So 93 Cowboys, 96 Cowboys, 92 Cowboys, 99 Rams, 2012 Ray.
No, that's what it do, man. Where do y'all have that Seattle Seahawks team, man?
They were my six.
2013.
The third LOB.
Yeah, they were good, man. They were good. I mean, they
Percy
kind of
Harvin.
They should have been a dynasty too. They should have won 3. Yeah.
But guess who
I
messed that up?
too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll
and Russell Wilson. Hey, check out of that. Check out of that, man. Hand the ball off when the coach.
He wanted to be the MVP.
In the coaching world, this is what we say. Overcome coaching. At that point, Russell Wilson, that's when you got to overcome coaching and say, hey, fellas, we're not running that. We finna hand this thing off to the guy that got us down here on the 2-yard line, and we're going to go off with Super Bowl. And we had 2 downs. We're going to go off and ride off into the sunset with our second Super Bowl. But sometimes, especially if you're in the professionals, you got to overcome coaching. Coach calls something dumb. If you're the quarterback, man, check out of that. Check out of that.
But I think Russell Wilson wanted to run that play too, because if he had gotten that touchdown pass, he would have been the MVP of the game.
And that's what they wanted. That's what Pete Carroll wanted. I feel like that's what the upper management wanted. They wanted Russell Wilson to be the hero.
Because Marshawn had a hell of a game. He was definitely going to win that MVP if they ran the right play. Yep.
I know they sick to this day. And
I thought about
every time I watched that,
together.
Every time I watch that clip when they had the camera on Richard Sherman, it just hurts my heart because I understand how he probably was feeling in that moment. Like his heart dropped. You go from thinking, oh man, this is easy. This is a walk-in touchdown. We're gonna give it to the dude that just broke 3 tackles to get us down here. They throw it. It's a pick. Game over.
That's why they don't mess with Russell now.
That's a fact.
They ain't gonna never get over that.
Nah,
hey yo, I gotta correct myself too, man. I said the 01 Ravens. That is not the right year that I was thinking about. It's the 2012 Ravens.
Oh, you were thinking about 2012.
Yeah,
correct. You were thinking about 2000.
Because Ed Reed was still playing for Miami.
Hey, and that was gonna be my 7. That was gonna be my 7. My the best NFL teams of all time, the 2001 Miami Hurricane.
Nah, word up though. Yeah,
they got robbed though. That 2001 Miami Hurricane.
Yeah, man, that pass interference. They ain't call that pass interference, man.
It was bad.
Man, Maurice Claret, man. Anyway, let's go on, man, before we be here for another 2 hours, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mashawn's Sunday Night Live Top 5. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get to the section I love the most, man, the HBCU section. Always got to show love to those who show love to us. Go and get some of that drum going. All right, this year's 2027 MEAC Hall of Fame inductees include William Judson, football standout at South Carolina State, Reggie Holmes, men's basketball legend from Morgan State, Christina Epps, track and field standout at Coppin State, Cy Alexander was the head basketball coach at South Carolina State and North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. But the one name that matters the most, ladies and gentlemen, the coach, well, one of them anyway, Coach Rod Broadway. Coach Rod Broadway, man. Where's my cheers here? Gotta give it up.
Shout out to Coach Broadway.
Absolutely. Coach Broadway led those Aggies to a 59-22 overall record, 41-15 in the MEAC, had a close to 73% win percentage, the highest in Aggie football history. I mean, that shouldn't even be a question there. 3 MEAC championships, 2 Celebration Bowl victories, 2015 and 2017. That 2017 Aggies team was the first Division I HBCU team to go undefeated. Coach Broadway did that. All He was also Coach of the Year in 2017, man. So congratulations to Coach Broadway and all the inductees. That that MEAC Hall of Fame induction will take place March 11th in Norfolk, VA during the MEAC basketball tournament, man. So congratulations. And earlier during the intro, I said there's a basketball player. Yes, sir.
That's very interesting that you decide to reference the time he spent in Greensboro and not the time he spent prior to that in Durham, which made him the man that he was. But it's okay. He was North Carolina Central University's head coach from 03 to 06 and brought us back into prominence when he won the CIAA title in 04, 05, and took us to the second round of the Division II championship in 05 and 06. The record at Central was 33-11. In the conference, it was 21-7, which springboarded his career to Grambling, right, where he won there. He was never less than second at Grambling, and then he took over the job up the street in Greensboro. So I just wanted to make sure that was discussed and not just looked over, because we have some Eagles coming up on this too. You want to go ahead and say that's a perfect segue. I lobbed it to the rim for you. The segue to another of the great Eagles of all time. So take it away.
Or you could do like I did in your segment and waited for you to finish and then talk about it. You know what I mean? But anyway, so thank you so much for the assist, sir. Since we're talking about basketball, there's another basketball player from the Wilmington area who had more NBA championships than Michael Jordan. Who, you might ask? Mr. Clutch, Sam Jones, Wilmington native. He was a member of the NBA Boston Celtics, had 10 NBA rings. He'll have a statue unveiling prior to the North Carolina Central versus South Carolina State basketball game. He ranked second all time in scoring at North Carolina Central, averaged 17.8 points per game in 98 games. And yeah, man, so congratulations to Mr. Clutch. I'm sure Don has some more stuff he'd like to say because the guy went to Central.
Yeah, man, shout out to Sam Jones from Laurinburg, you know what I'm saying, close to Wilmington. So North Carolina kid, right, won 8 chips in a row with the Celtics, man. And I think he helped Bill Russell become who he was and was an integral part in that team. And yeah, second most NBA chips of any player of all time behind Bill Russell, and of course, including his teammates that was also on that Celtics team, man. So shout out to OG Sam, man. He's got a big picture in the gym at Central. I didn't know he was going to get a statue, but I mean, obviously he should. But shout out to Sam Jones, man. Well-deserved. Probably long overdue statue, but you know how it is with, especially in Durham, with us getting the money to do something like that, right? So yeah, I'm glad it's been done, and we've saved up enough to give him a statue as it should have been many years ago.
Now,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, now, everything said he was from Wilmington, and I know Wilmington and Laurinburg are two totally different places, so I want to make sure we get that right, the part where he's from. I'm seeing everything say Wilmington.
Yeah, I saw it was like he was like from Wilmington, but he went to Laurinburg Institute.
Like
so
maybe
I'm not
born.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if he like grew up in Laurinburg and moved to Wilmington or vice versa.
Got you. Cause Laurinburg prep, that's like your Oak Hills and stuff like that. So he probably from Wilmington, but just because he was good in basketball.
Gotcha. I had never heard of Laurinburg prep.
Yeah.
So what both of y'all are saying, though, going back to Coach Broadway, is that both Central and A&T fumbled the bag on that one.
We got Sam Washington.
I remember back there when A&T won those 2 Celebration Bowls, and then next thing you know, Coach Broadway is out. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
This guy here was...
You know the funny thing, man?
He wasn't old yet. He was still relatively young and could still coach them. I just couldn't understand why they got rid of Coach Broadway, and then you see what happened to A&T football almost immediately after that.
You know who really fumbled the bag, man? Me. Because Coach Broadway got to A&T in the spring of my senior year, right? They had been bad. When I was in high school, they were bad all throughout my high school years, right? So when I'm coming out of high school, they had just got the scholarships reduced and everything like that, and they were bad. And so I'm like, bro, and so they asked me like to come walk on.
Just gonna keep saying it like that.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't have any scholarship money, and so they was like, and I was like, I'm not, first of all, if I'm gonna pay for school, I'm not trying to go to a team that's bad and in my own hometown, like where my mama up the street, she can come stop by whenever she wants to. I'm not trying to do that. And so if I was being smart and I was looking around, I had some world view, I would have looked at who they hired and I would have saw his track record, because a couple of my homies went there the next year, graduated in 2012 high school, went there the next year, and were on the Celebration Bowl teams and got all these rings and played with Tariq Cohen and built A&T football to what it was during the team. And I was at all them games. I was at the Celebration Bowl watching in the stands, just tight. So at A&T and Central, it was me that fumbled the bag, man. Jesus Christ.
Hey, man, the first thing to changing the problem is admitting that you had one, man. So that's very big of you to come out and say you should have been an Aggie the whole time, man. We appreciate that. See how I can do stuff like that too.
Respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much. Yeah, absolutely. Final thoughts, gentlemen. Final thoughts, man. It's been another great 2 hours, man. Time to get y'all back to y'all families. I done held you hostage long enough. Final thoughts.
Man, I wanted to just somber final thought for Eddie Kane Jr., man. Mr. Michael Wright, the actor that played. I know him as Eddie Kane Jr. You know, me, y'all probably don't know. Y'all probably too young. I used to like to watch that show he was on called The Visitors of V. He played on that and many other things, Sugar Hill, but everybody always call him Eddie Kane from Five Heartbeats, man. Rest in peace to that brother. I enjoyed a lot of his film work.
One time for Ray Nathan, man. One time for Ray Nathan.
Absolutely. And my final thoughts are really just one, man. Rest in peace to Nip Hussle. He just dropped the album with Bino Rideau, and his street team and everything like that was out in New York, like passing out and doing the old school way, like posting up flyers and doing in-store stuff like that, man. And the album is really good. So if you hadn't listened to it, make sure you go check it out. Rest in peace to Nip Hussle. And yeah, let's keep being great, man.
Well, let's see if we can get the name of the album real quick. I want to say Prolific.
Prolific. Yep, you're right.
So that is? Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure we get the name out there. Go listen to Prolific, ladies and gentlemen. And also, want you like, share, subscribe, comment, all that goodness for your 9 to 5 guys on Sunday Night Live, man. As always, I want to thank my homeboys, man, my consortium of great sports professionals, Mr. Mashawn Roberson, the sports diplomat, Coach DeDon. I want y'all team to do well this upcoming week, man. Myers Park had a rough start, but they're going to bounce back, and Southern Alaman's going to keep on rolling.
We're going to bounce back, baby.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, whenever you go outside, take God with you, man. Y'all be kind. Y'all be careful. We'll see y'all same time next week. Peace. Get that outro music.
Uh-oh. There we go.